4th of August 2019, Sunday, 1:46 p.m. My name is James and this is Slopfest. Welcome back. It's your weekly dose of weirdness, an exploration into the Mayandes of strange people doing strange things. This is just a little show about weirdness, weird people doing weird things, and whether that's news stories, whether that's people leaving the craziest misconnections online. Misconnections is a strange beast, really, when you think about it. It's kind of like love songs and dedications to me. The idea that you had this interaction with someone and that they were aware of it in the time that it took place. Neither of you did anything about it. So later you think, well, I know what I'll do. I'll go to misconnections or love songs and dedications, and I will explain the situation, two ships passing in the night. If it's you, contact me. Generally they have a bit of a secret question, like what song was playing in the Kmart when we caught eyes above the yoga pants? You know what I mean? Strange that the guy would be hanging out in the yoga pants. He's a creep, basically. Welcome to Misconnections. Or love songs and dedications that they would happen to be listening at the exact same time that your love song and dedication came on. I mean, it's insane. And that's the stuff I love. Crazy, strange happenings, weird people doing weird stuff. And that's what this show's all about. And if you're here, seems like that's what you're into as well. Hey, me and you, we'll be weird together. That's fine. Everyone, hey, fuck everyone else. Me and you will be strange together. Let's go hang out at a cemetery. Promise neither of us will kill each other. Okay? Pinky swear. Good stuff. Okay, let's go do weird stuff. Speaking of people going and doing weird things, a pair of anti-vegan protesters have been fined for eating raw squirrels in front of horrified onlookers, including children at a food market. Dionysii Klebnokiv, I'm going to get this. Dionysii Klebnikov, nailed it, 22, and Gatis Lagstins, 29, began biting chunks out of the dead animal in protest at a vegan stall in Soho, London. Of course, as always, if you head over to slopfestpod.com and go to this episode, you will find more in-depth show notes, pictures for all the stories that we talk about, and, handcrafted bespoke cover art, which is the greatest thing of all. The pictures are blurred, obviously, because I got them off news sites, and the news sites aren't going to show pictures of guys eating chunks of dead squirrels. Okay, but it's enough of it isn't pixelated that you get it, that you understand what's going on. The parent of an upset child asked the pair to stop, but they continued their protest in the Soho vegan food market in Rupert Street, the Crown Prosecution Service said. Footage of the incident showed one of the protesters wearing the animal's carcass around his neck before being handcuffed and led away by police. Like a trophy? Hey everyone, here's my trophy kill. Yes, me, a fully grown 29-year-old male. I beat this tiny, defenseless squirrel, and now I shall parade his carcass around. My victory trophy, cast upon me your eyes, for I, the 29-year-old meat-eating, squirrel-eating warrior, have defeated the plague of a single squirrel. Fucking idiot. The pair were both found guilty of a public order offence at City London Magistrates Court and were ordered to pay fines. Lagsdins from Ealing. Fucking hell. Where are my eyes at today? Lagsdins from Ealing in West London was fined £400 plus costs and a surcharge, while Klebnikov from Westminster was fined £200 plus costs and a surcharge. So I guess, how did they weigh that up? They took the squirrels and they weighed them after the fact. They looked up the average weight of a squirrel, and then you do your subtractions. Clearly, Lagsdins ate more than Klebnikov. That's how you divvy up the the charges there. Or maybe Lagston's was maybe more of a cunt. Who knows? Their conviction comes after Lagston's was filmed eating a raw pig's head outside of a vegan festival in March. So this is his thing. This is this guy's fucking thing. Well, I know what I'm going to do. Let me guess, Lagston's, you're going to let people do what they want to do, them being vegans, and not go and impart your fucking bullshit on people who are just off doing their own thing, not hurting anyone, just celebrating. Well, we're just having a vegan festival. We're all vegans here. We love vegan food. We very much, first of all, not all vegans are vegan because they, believe that they're superior and they don't want to harm animals. I know people who are vegan for dietary reasons. I know people who are vegetarian and vegan for, what would you call it? Like like they don't want to contribute to eating animals. I know people who are vegan for environmental reasons. So I don't get the idea of, first of all, being upset that someone's a vegan. Who gives a shit? You eat meat, they don't. Get over it. No, that's not good enough. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up to where a group of people have congregated, like-minded people, sharing in something that they love, and I'm going to fuck it up. Are you going to eat like a Reuben? Like a beef, like a steak sandwich or something? No, Carl. I'm going to go one step further. Let's get a raw pig's head, and I'll eat that. I think the raw meat has sent this guy crazy. Isn't that a thing? Eating, or is it just eating human flesh? Who knows? Anyway, sorry. The YouTuber, of course he's a YouTuber. His little fucking, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you smash the fucking God-given shit out of that like button. Today, we're going to be heading down to Soho Vegan Festival, where I'm going to be eating, that's right, a squirrel carcass. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but I love YouTube. It's such a great idea. Same thing with like podcasting, where people can just have their own show or make their own movies or web series or, anything. It's this awesome creative outlet where YouTube and podcasting, where there are no gatekeepers. Whatever you want to make, you get to just make it and put it out there. And I love that idea. Unfortunately, something called algorithms tend to fuck shit up, and you got to have a butt in your picture for your thumbnail. Otherwise, you're not going to get any views. You've got to have you've got to be calling other people out. You've got to be doing pranks. All of these things. Otherwise, it's just not interesting. God forbid people should just make art and cool stuff because they want to. Anyway, sorry, a bit of a tangent. The YouTuber said veganism was, quote, human cruelty, and was surrounded by pro-vegan activists as he ate the flesh outside VegFest in Brighton. Senior CPS prosecutor Natalie Clines said the pair were protesting against veganism and said they were, quote, raising awareness about the dangers of not eating meat. The dangers of not eating meat. I don't know if I'm aware of those. And I mean, can't you get everything you need from plants and like fruit and shit? Again, I'm some fat guy sitting in an apartment who like knows nothing about like food and fitness, so I have no idea. Don't come to this. Come here for strange news, okay? And weird people doing weird shit. Don't come to me for food stuff, because I'll be like, is a hot dog a vegetable? Like, it's at that level, okay? Anyway, raising awareness about the dangers of not eating meat. I wasn't aware that it's dangerous to not eat meat. I can't imagine that it is dangerous to not eat meat, assuming you're getting everything that you should be from eating things that aren't meat. That's my understanding, at least. But choosing to do this outside a vegan food stall and continuing with their disgusting and unnecessary behavior despite requests to stop, including from a parent whose child was upset by their actions, the prosecution was able to demonstrate that they had planned and intended to cause distress to the public, she said. Disgusting. I mean, arguable. Some people might think it's not. I think it is. But definitely unnecessary. You didn't need to do that. Imagine, oh fuck. People do anything for fucking like a little bit of attention on the internet, won't they? She added that their actions had, quote, caused significant distress to members of the public, including young children. Klebnikov and Lagsdens were both convicted after denying disorderly behavior likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress. Again, a couple of... You know how I feel about YouTube bloody pranksters anyway. People who run out, you're just like out living your life, doing your thing, and now you've got to deal with some fuckhead running up on you with a camera, being a fucking goofball because he wants to get some views on the internet. It's the most obnoxious fucking thing in the world. Let alone going and then seeking out people who are just doing their own thing. We're just hanging out. We're just, we like vegetables. Leave me alone. I like vegetables. I should be able to go to my veg fest and not see some fuckwit eating a squirrel and a pig's head. 2019. Welcome to 2019. Got it set up alphabetically this year. The alliums outside next to those, you will find asshole who is eating a pig's head. Our second story here, David Tinley, 62, pleaded guilty in federal court to a charge of intentional damage to a protected computer. Tinley had been hired by a US unit of Siemens, the German-based tech conglomerate, to create custom automated spreadsheets. The company used these spreadsheets to manage orders for electrical equipment. Tinley planted so-called logic bombs into the spreadsheets, the government alleged. Logic bombs are bits of malicious code that disrupt the program when specific conditions are met, like a specific time on a specific date. In this case, the logic bombs were timed to go off every few years, the government alleges, causing the spreadsheets to experience glitches like error messages and making the on-screen buttons change size. When the program glitched, the company would bring Tinley back in to fix it. He fixed the system by pushing back the date the spreadsheets would stop working again, the government said. He was busted in 2016 when he was away on vacation and Siemens had to put an urgent order through the system, which had begun glitching, according to the Law 360 report. The circumstance reportedly forced Tinley to share with his employees his passwords that protected the system's code, revealing the logic bomb. Mate, you set up the fucking system to essentially keep yourself gainfully employed, which I will say, little bit of admiration for fighting back against the robots and technology. Am I right? Crime, a little bit. A lot of ingenuity, though, and job security. Job security is important. And sometimes I guess you've got to take job security matters into your own hands and ensure your own job security. He might be a bit of an entrepreneur. This guy's some entrepreneurial thinking going on here. He's definitely hustling and definitely grinding. I can't stand the terms hustle, grind. And sorry, this is just welcome back to peppered throughout this podcast is my other podcast, James's Gripes. So he was busted when he went away on vacation. He set up the logic bomb to go off at certain times, to start fucking up at certain times. You made the system. You know when they're going to fuck up. Just have it in your calendar at home, and those can be the times that you don't go on vacation. If they fuck up every couple of years, just July 13th, 2019, that's when the next one's going to fuck up. Make sure you're not on holiday so you can go and fix it. You spend all this time devising this ingenious system to help them. Then a secondary hidden ingenious system to help yourself. Don't shoot yourself in the foot by getting your fucking dates out of whack and being on holiday when you're supposed to be continuing the grift. It's grift. This is the year of the grift. You don't go on holidays. Anyway, Tinley's lawyers said Tinley never made any money by being hired to go in and fix the spreadsheets, arguing that his motivation was to protect his proprietary work. I mean, depending upon how that's all set out in his contract, generally everything that you make for a company and while you're there is theirs. Depending upon if it's outlined differently, because that was the whole Stan Lee thing where he was like, yo, you're making these movies now, and I kind of came up with literally everything: the X-Men, Spider-Boy, the Tentacle Brothers, the oh so fantastic Four. Except the movies weren't, were they? No. The Hulk? Did Stan Lee come up with the Hulk? He must have. Because the Hulk was revealed in a Wolverine. No, Wolverine was revealed in a Hulk one. Man, it gets so confusing. There's so many. Look, there's so many comic books. Let's face it. There's just so many comic books in so little time. You know what I mean? I can't keep up with all of it. I'm genuinely trying to think of another character that Stan Lee invented. Says the X-Men. Love my X-Men. Love me some X-Men. Didn't like what they did with Dark Phoenix. Anyway, so, hey, this isn't Pop Culture Cast. Let's keep on track. My apologies. Prosecutors reportedly argued that the situation met the $5,000 in damages needed to label it a felony. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say before. Yeah, Stan Lee was trying to take him to court because he wanted money. He's like, yo, I invented these fucking characters. Can I get some dosh for these multi-billion-dollar movies that are being made? And they're like, no, you made them while you worked here, so it's our stuff, it's not yours. Paraphrasing, of course. No, sorry, I think that was verbatim what the judge said. Oi, you fucking made it while you were there, cunt, so simmer down, they own it. Jesus. Verbatim, that's what he said. Tinley's lawyers said that he never made any money by being hired to go in and fix the spreadsheets, arguing that his motivation was to protect his proprietary work. Prosecutors reportedly argued that the situation met the $5,000 in damages needed to label it a felony because Siemens spent $42,000 on an investigation into the damages he may have caused. Tinley's plea included an agreement to pay restitution for these costs, as well as forfeiting 2 laptops. That's in addition to his sentencing, where he'll face the prospect of jail time and a fine. Again, mate, you create this whiz-bang system doing so much great work for spreadsheets. You know, who would have known spreadsheets still going strong in 2019? Very much the Madonna of technology and software. It keeps reinventing itself. Just can't get... Excel is the cockroaches of software. You can't get rid of this fucking thing. People love Excel. So much of what I do each day involves Excel as well. Who came up with that? What if it's there's just rows and columns and they're like labeled and stuff? Is that good? Apparently yes, and will be for fucking ever. Cannot get rid of Excel. Sorry. But still, I mean, you invented all these, systems. You're a technological genius. Get a fucking calendar plugin. Get yourself an Asana or something, so you can scope out you can write out your timelines in a fancy little calendar for how you're gonna, set up your next grift, the big grift of 2020, and then just chuck in your fucking dates. And then maybe put a little warning on it, a little asterisk. Do not be on holidays when this happens. You fucking idiot. A final story here. Police are warning Aussies to be aware of an email scam doing the rounds that claims to have hacked webcam footage of unwitting victims, quote, satisfying themselves. It's another Jerky Jeff story. New South Wales police issued the warning earlier today, advising people to immediately delete the email and not reply. Again, if you go to slopfestpod.com, click on the latest episode or this episode, depending upon when you're listening to this, You will be able to see copies of the scam email as well as the post that New South Wales Police put out about this whole situation. The offending email, which tells victims, quote, "I collected all your private data and I recorded you." When it's in capitals, you'll be able to tell because my voice will raise. Parentheses, through your webcam. Satisfying yourself is fake. Sorry, okay. Let me read that again. Sorry. The offending email, which tells victims, quote, "I collected all your private data and I recorded you," parentheses, through your webcam, close parentheses, "satisfying yourself," end quote, is fake. The scammer claims to have collected the compromising footage through malware that gave them, quote, "full access to all your accounts, full control over your computer, and it also was possible to spy on you over your webcam." The email, littered with spelling mistakes and grammatical errors, also claims to have a password previously used by the victim. I mean, hey, come on, grammar police, all right? I'm getting thousands of videos here of people jerking it out, right? You would be writing this email hastily as well. What am I defending the hackers in this situation? Police have already received more than 300 reports this week relating to the scam email. It threatens to spread the fake footage across the, quote, "whole web, including the Darknet, where the very sick people are," the email reads. I love that the email said that. I will put this footage everywhere across the whole internet, including the Darknet. So you've got the good net. It will be on the Facebooks, but it will also be on the Darknet. And that's where the real jerky Jeffsters live. Are you aware of the Darknet? I may have heard of it in that film, Unfriended, the Dark Web. Yes, I'm mildly aware of it. Why? That's where the real sickos live. So many people are going to be jerking it to you jerking it. Welcome to the dark web. The scammer then demands the victim sends them $800 in Bitcoin. A, quote, "very good offer compared to all the horrible shit that will happen if I publish everything," the email claims. Jesus. I mean, you got footage of me jerking it. You don't have to be such a bloody grumpy Gus about it. Fucking hell. The victim is given 3 days to pay, and once the scammer receives the payment, quote, "I will remove everything and you can I will remove everything and you can live in peace like before." If anyone sends you an email that says, "I have video of you jerking it," it will go on the dark web where the real jerky Jeffs live. Pay me $800 in Bitcoin. Yes, a very good offer, considering all the horrible shit that will happen to you. Yes, I will. You can trust me. I will remove everything and you can live like in peace like before. Probably just maybe that one's a bit of a... Maybe it's a scam. Live back to normal once again after the jerky jerk vids are deleted. But only once 800 of the digital coins enter my digital wallet. The comical email, which police said was nothing to be concerned about, has caused a stir on social media, with most seeing the lighter side. Quote, "Anyone who's seen my nudes needs the cash for therapy," said Doug McNaboe. Ben Carey said they can have it. Maybe at least one person might enjoy it. Margaret Oyston said, "There are days I'm so in the mood for these kinds of scum to contact me. I would have so much fun, lol." Despite this email being an obvious scam, police and the government cybersecurity center warn Aussies to be aware of sextortion scams. Sextortion scams. Sextortion is a form of online blackmail where a perpetrator threatens to reveal intimate images of someone online, often their friends and family, unless they pay a ransom, commonly in untraceable cryptocurrency. Typically, the scammers have no compromising information, the Australian Cyber Centre said. In most cases, if you receive an email There is no reason to be concerned. These emails are typically generated in their thousands by online scammers using limited personal details that they are able to collect from the internet. So, a bit of a PSA, as I often like to do on this reputable newscast. It's up there in credibility with A Current Affair. Me and Tracy Grimo, we hang out. Just a bit of a PSA. If you've received an email recently that claims to have webcam footage of you, smacking it up, flipping it, rubbing it down, likelihood of that is low. So go ahead and, delete the email, go back to living your life like you were before. Nothing to worry about. So you're all good. Just thought, I'd throw that story in there just to clarify for you in case you received this and you thought, oh no, the dark web is where the sickest people hang out and I don't want any Jerky Jeffs, obviously Jerky Jeff in it, to me Jerky Jeff in it. And it's like, I get that. It gets into a whole weird circle of life Inception style sort of jerkathon, and no one really needs that in their life, particularly on a Sunday. It's like, I've got work tomorrow, you know what I mean? I don't need this on my plate as well, So just a bit of a PSA, and that's it, really. Live you live. So hashtag live you live, and that's gonna do it for this episode. But do we still pick a winner? You know what I mean? Of course we do. Out of all these people, or all these stories, so what do we have? We've got the anti-vegan protesters who are out here just eating fucking dead animals, raw dead animals. You've got it can't be the programmer. The programmer, he's just out here. He's aware of what the job market is like in 2019. He's aware that robots are stealing our jobs. He's aware that, technology is advancing. He's aware that somehow Excel is still very important in pretty much every industry somehow. Probably is like Word and Excel and maybe Outlook. Maybe Excel's more important than Outlook. You know what I mean? How did that happen? It's just it's just cells on a page. It's just rows and columns of cells. Who would have thought, Who would have thought? Anyway. So that's that guy. He's, nothing wrong with that. Creating his own job security. You got to admire the ambition. The sextortion scams, pretty good, but pretty obvious to see through. You know what I mean? When people are talking about how bad the dark web is, live and you live, all that kind of stuff. I feel like a fairly internet savvy person would see that and be like, clearly you don't have footage of me jerking it. Unless they got into my hard drive and looked in my folder that said not jerking it videos. Speaking of which, a friend of mine had I don't know why I'm telling you this, but anyway, a friend of mine had porn on his computer one time because this was years ago. So before the whole streaming craze, you know what I mean? There wasn't porn on demand back then, all right? Yeah, apparently you had to save it. He knew I forget what he was talking about, but he knew specifically multiple files down in we're talking images, right? He had this whole file structure to it. It was fucked. So he's like, oh yeah, go to this file, then this file, then this file, and then it's picture 600 and blah blah blah. It's how do you remember? Why and how do you know that, and why do you remember it? And why are you using valuable brain storage to remember that shit? Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. No idea why, but now you know that. So, have a good week with that info. Anyway, so clearly a scam email. That's obviously not going to be our winner. Our winner here, the people out here doing life weirder, being the most annoying, are our anti-vegan YouTube prankster fuckwits who just can't handle people being out here enjoying something, and they have to run out there and ruin it for everyone. Just stay home. Make your dumb fucking video at home, you fucking idiot. I don't like when you can not like stuff. Okay, totally fine with that. But now you're like going out of your way to go to the thing. Why would you go to the thing and like presumably you had to pay to get in, even if you didn't? You're like spending your time going to a thing that you hate just to piss off people you don't like. Like, did you have anything better to do? Like, anything at all? Fuck. So they're our winner this week, the anti-vegan protesters, thankfully, who were fined and charged deservingly. Very much so deservingly. But that's going to do it for this episode. Head over to slopfestpod.com to get more in-depth show notes, images, bespoke, artisanally handcrafted cover art for this and previous episodes. Slop a follow on the socials to be notified when new episodes go live. And while you're there, shoot me a bloody message. Shoot me your weird story, or if you found a weird news story, or you're aware of someone out here doing it weird. Let me know at Slopfest Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Feel free to send me any of your weird and wonderful news stories or your findings to the email as well. slopfestpodcast@gmail.com. New microphone, how does it sound? Was going to have video this week, set up the camera, flipped it open, bing, flick it to on, battery dead. So I feel like I'm like the boy who cried camera at this point. You know, I promise I have a camera, all right? And it has nothing to do with me being self-conscious about how I look. I don't give a fuck. I'm fat. I don't give a shit. I want to make video stuff for this because there are podcasts that I like watching the video of. So I thought, maybe people might like video of this. Maybe not. I'm not nothing great to look at, but videos are coming and I'm excited to make them. I'm just a fucking idiot who needs to remember to charge fucking cameras. The last problem I had with this goddamn camera was I left it in 4K mode and then I had literally an hour to get the episode out. And not an hour, I had like a couple hours to get the episode out. It was super late at night. I start copying it onto my computer and it's 70 fucking gig. So eventually I'm going to figure this whole video thing out. It's a new camera, it's not a DSLR. I know how to use DSLRs at this point. I'm just, hey, I know how to use DSLRs. It's a different type of camera. I don't know how to use it. Stop making fun of me, all right? Videos will be coming soon, and it'll be cool and fun. I'll talk to you about it then. No, thank you for coming and listening. This is episode 34. Come back for episode 35. Share it with a friend. Leave me a review on wherever you get your podcasts. A 6-word review. I don't know why 6 words. Give me your best 6-word review. And if I love it, I'll give you a gift. I'll give you a bloody gift if I love it. I should probably check to see if there are any reviews. I have no idea. Again, we've established that I'm bad at this. I'm probably just going to leave now before, the veil gets lifted too much and I'm revealed for the like an episode of Scooby-Doo. You lift the mask further. Oh, he was a pile of trash the whole time. Thank you so much for coming and listening. Share it with a friend. I really do appreciate, you giving your time to this silly show. I really hope you're enjoying it. And I love ya. And I feel like we're deep enough in this relationship now where I can tell you I love you, all right? I bloody love ya. And I'll see you next week, guys. Sorry. Thanks for coming. I'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.